Listen up. Quaker parrots aren't everyone's cup of tea, but that doesn't mean they're bad pets. If you're thinking of getting one, make sure you watch this video. Let's start with the basics. Quaker parrots come from South America, though you'll now find wild colonies chilling on power lines in US cities like Chicago and Miami. Seriously, Quakers are survivors. They're bright green with a gray bib, expressive eyes, and a wattle that says, "I'm cute, but I will scream." There's a lot of reasons why people adore them. Here's the good stuff. Quakers are hilarious. They talk, sometimes better than your friends. They learn words, sound effects, jokes. I know a guy whose Quaker whispers, "What you doing?" in their ear like a nosy ghost. And another one casually blurts out, "Cake," every time someone enters the room. We relate. They're incredibly smart. Not, "Oh wow, it learned to step up smart." More like, "It opened the treat jar and stole snacks while I was in the bathroom." Smart. And the bonding? Deep. These birds don't just like you, they imprint. They greet you, call out for you, and throw a fit when you leave. They might even whisper sweet nothings while preening your eyebrows. But don't let the charm fool you. Quakers come with their own brand of drama. First off, they're loud. Not macaw level loud, but definitely attention-seeking. If they want your attention, or your snack, or they saw a bird 3 houses away, you're going to hear about it. They're also cage gremlins. Quakers are fiercely territorial. That cage, their kingdom. Try to rearrange something without permission? Prepare for a bite, a scream, or a side eye that can melt glass. Oh, and they often pick favorites. If you're the chosen one, congrats. If not, well, you might just be the butler. That's why some bird owners think they're bad pets. And you'll probably see some of that firsthand in the first week itself. Often, your shiny new bird might act like you're a suspicious stranger who broke into its house. Some birds go totally silent. Others scream like it's a horror movie. In fact, if you're a first-timer, you might even start wondering if you made the right choice. And the answer is, kind of. They're not the absolute easiest birds, but they're not the hardest either. Think of them as intermediate-level chaos. They're smart, so they need training. They're social, so they need time. They're stubborn, so they need patience. If you've never had a bird before, you'll definitely have a learning curve. But if you're ready to actually learn and commit, a Quaker can be an amazing first-time bird. Just don't expect chill. Expect sass. Expect noise. Expect shredded paper and stolen crackers. But also, expect love. Don't panic. Let them settle in, keep things calm, and don't shove your hand in their face. You might feel rejected at first. That's normal. You're building trust. Bird speed, not human speed. Now let's talk real estate. Cage setup matters. A lot. Even though Quakers are small, they need a big cage. At least 24 inches in every direction. But honestly, go bigger if you can. These birds like to climb, flap, swing, and destroy. Add perches, ropes, ladders, and chew toys. And make sure the bars are horizontal. They love to climb like tiny green monkeys. Keep the cage in a well-lit area, but away from drafts, fumes, and loud appliances. They want to be near the action, but not in the middle of chaos. And then there's food. What do Quakers eat? Everything, if you let them. But here's the ideal. 60% high-quality pellets, 30% fresh fruits and veggies, and 10% grains or seeds. It goes without saying that you need to avoid avocado, chocolate, caffeine, and other bird no-nos. Keep treats like sunflower seeds or nuts as the odd treat. They tend to eat them like popcorn at the movies. And yes, they'll throw half of it on the floor. Not because they hate you, just because they can. Now, let's talk brains. Because if you don't keep a Quaker busy, they'll create chaos. Bored Quakers destroy things, and they'll look you dead in the eye while doing it. So, switch out toys weekly. Add puzzles, foraging games, chewables, and anything they can shred. Hide treats inside paper balls or cups. Make snack time a treasure hunt. And they need time out of the cage. Every day. Let them explore safely, fly a little, and maybe destroy your pens. Let's talk about other pets for a second. Can Quakers get along with them? Kind of. With other birds? Sometimes. Some Quakers play nice, others get jealous. It depends on the bird. With cats or dogs, only under close supervision, like hawk-eyed supervision, because birds are small and fast, and most pets don't know bird boundaries. Quakers have strong personalities, so if you already live in a zoo, introduce slowly and give everyone their own space. Speaking of routine, what does a typical day look like with a Quaker? Morning starts with yelling, usually for breakfast, then a bit of flapping, some cage acrobatics, and possibly an insult muttered under their breath. Midday might include training, playing with toys, or yelling at a bird outside the window. Evenings? That's cuddle or chaos time. Depends on their mood. And then they'll tuck into their cage like nothing happened. Every day is structured chaos. All right, training. The good news? Quakers love to learn. The bad news? They're sneaky and sometimes too smart for their own good. You can teach them basics like step up, step down, or even recall. Use treats, praise, and lots of patience. But beware, they also learn the stuff you don't teach, like how to open latches, or how to bait you into a fake cuddle before launching an attack on your earring. Start young if possible. Hand-raised babies are usually easier to work with, but any Quaker can learn with enough snacks. Now let's talk health real quick. Quakers can live 20 to 30 years. That's longer than some friendships. They're prone to obesity, especially with too many treats. So keep an eye on their diet and let them fly around for exercise. They can get respiratory infections if their cage is drafty or dirty, so keep it clean and smoke-free. Feather plucking? Often a sign of stress or boredom. If you spot it, change up the routine, add enrichment, and visit an avian vet. Yes, an avian vet. Regular checkups are a must, and please, no WebMD for birds. Go to a pro. So how do you know if your Quaker's actually happy? You'll see head bobs, playful chatter, fluffed feathers, and maybe even a little dance. Happy Quakers talk to themselves. They hang upside down. They sing to their food dish. It's weird and adorable. If they're eating well, playing and chirping, you're doing great. What if you want to take your Quaker on the road? Well, traveling with a parrot is doable, but it's not a vacation. They need a secure travel cage, familiar toys, snacks, and preferably a calm playlist. Some birds scream the whole way. Others fall asleep in your hoodie. Leaving them behind? Get a bird sitter who actually knows birds, not just your cousin who once owned a hamster. Okay, here's something important. You ready? You need to check if Quakers are legal where you live. In some U.S. states, like California, Colorado, and Pennsylvania, they're banned. Why? Because they can survive in the wild and damage crops. So check your local laws before falling in love with a bird you might not be allowed to keep. Avoid heartbreak, or worse, having to give them up. Finally, the million-dollar question. Should you get a Quaker parrot? Let's be honest. If you want a quiet, low-maintenance pet that just sits in a corner and occasionally chirps, keep walking. But if you want a companion with sass, smarts, and a whole lot of attitude, if you're okay with being yelled at, danced on, mimicked, and bossed around by a tiny green dictator, if you want a relationship that's part toddler, part comedian, and part shadowy sidekick, then yes, a Quaker parrot might just be your perfect match. But go in with open eyes, open ears, and a closed snack bag. Because once they move in, your toast is no longer safe. If you love this, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.